Good evening and welcome to our special coverage on Vincenzo's gold crypto investing. Smash like, subscribe, and share button, super chat to support channel. Yes, see support channel, brother. Today on March 29, 2024, the cryptocurrency market witnessed significant movements. XRP experienced a marginal decline, down by 1% to 62 cents per token. In another development, Bitcoin encountered alleged manipulation with its value plummeting $1,169 to $69,869. These events have prompted concerns among investors as investigations into potential criminal activities and manipulation from elite groups of organized criminal gangsters cartel within the cryptosphere intensify. Meanwhile, Vincenzo's jabroni killer's commitment to uncovering the truth remains steadfast. With reconnaissance missions conducted via air and ground, spanning every corner of the globe, Vincenzo's leaves no stone unturned. From bustling cities to remote wilderness, their dedication to transparency and accountability knows no bounds.
Good fourth day of April on this overcast, dark, gloomy, early spring day in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois on 37 degrees. And just as the clouds are gloomy and overcast, the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin market has been choppy, just like the wavy clouds in the sky. Up 2.69% today, down 6.9% yesterday. The pumps and dumps are in, but the number one cryptocurrency and blockchain technology insider is here. And just as that dynamite intro said, bell notification, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and share to not miss any vital information you need and coin updates with truth and integrity. And that's why we call ourselves gold crypto investing, because we do gold and crypto investing, but gold. And we have a massive, through myself, position in gold and silver mining stocks. And we have over $19,000 in our total mining and silver mining stock account value. And they've been doing phenomenally well. As we take a quick peek of those, you can see silver's even, gold's even, but gold is at all-time highs and is at the threatening precipice of setting a new plateau of $2,000 as major underneath support in the gold price, right? And we've been forecasting a $2,500 gold price since this channel started. I thought it was going to happen last year, but the markets never do the things at the same. They might do the things you think they're going to do, but they often don't do them on the time scale at which you think they're going to do them. And that's why most people don't make the money, because it's not happening when they thought it was going to happen. So they get out, and there's our target that we set, $3,515, and that's on this major over a decade long, from 2000 and when the cup started, from 2011 till now. We had the most bullish macro formation you can have in the gold market. You had from the 2008 financial crisis, the big run up, and I'm going to diagnose and do this very super simple and easy. And this is why we thought gold was going to go to $2,500, right? And that's why we've been heavily investing in gold and silver mining stocks. And it's simple. A cup and handle in the macro time frame is the most bullish, because really a cup and handle is a longer term time frame pattern. And when you do see them in the long, far out time frames, like the monthly and over 10 years, they're very, very strong signals. And you can see you got your initial run up, and then you got your cup right there. See that it forms the cup, and then you had your handle right there, that down and sideways consolidation after the pump, and that was your handle. And you can see we had these here, our support. Come on, everything to hit but what I want. Like, look at that. Like, come on, just hit fucking that. And we had these here for this reason, because this was where, like, what is even there? There's fucking nothing there. This is where your handle was. You see that? That was your handle right there on the consolidation when we threatened to break out of this cup and handle. And this is your this was your, essentially, the neckline of the cup and handle, which was right here. And you can see how we got rejected the first time, and then we formed the cup 10 years long after the financial crisis pump of 2008. You can see that right here. We had our blow off top in 2011, and then we had the cup, and we had our accumulation zone that essentially lasted from around August of 2013 until about 2019, just before that infamous COVID pump and the COVID money printing and lowering of interest rates and the such, and that forced the big blow off top. And then we got rejected, and then we had our handle right here, and it took a long time. It got many rejections, and we actually came all the way back down from when we retested our all-time high of 2,000. We came all the way back down briefly to, we wicked down to about $1,600 or slightly less, about $1,590, and then we've had a phenomenal run ever since then, late 2022. And the breakout of that would be a simple targeted move, and this is how we came up with our target. In a simple targeted move, you would bring your indicator, whatever you're using to measure, and you would simply measure from the bottom of the move to the neckline to the point of a breakout, right? You see how that's diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected, and that gets you up to about $3,500, right? Or that gets you up to $3,000, and then that's a $3,000 target with our initial move of $2,500. But the cup and handle move on the breakout will eventually have a targeted move of $3,500. But our first initial move on the breakout to confirm a breakout before a consolidation and a retest of potentially $2,000 is $2,500, right? And that's how that's going to play out. And we're very, very confident on that playing out like that, and that's why we're heavily invested. And in the silver bullion chart, I created this chart for you a long time ago, and it's a very, very nice chart. It's a little bit harder to look at on my phone, but you can see just how the silver bullion back in 1972 was at $1.13, right? $1.31, and then it skyrocketed to $20 by 1980, and even hit $50 on a wick off blow off top. And then it consolidated in a big bear market and came down in 1992 down to $3 and just over $3, right? 3.5 cents, right? And then we had a long consolidation along the $4 uptrend, and then we had a massive pump again and had our second massive blow off top, which was a double top. And now you can look at this as this is another gigantic cup and handle disguised in an uptrend that's been going on for 30 plus years, and a blow off top of this as I get into here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And we might just be breaking out of the handle. We came all the way up to $50 again, or just shy of there, and then came all the way down to about $12 at the bear market low there. But you can see our underneath support, just because it's an inflation hedge with silver and not to do with anything else, with the massive infrastructure use that it has for semiconductors, building, electricity, and the rest. The natural inflationary protection of real hard money, and that is silver, the price naturally goes up, right? So if you hold it long enough, you'll naturally keep your purchasing power. But what I think we have going on here, and which could be an explosion in the gold and silver mining section, and we will get into some XRP, but this was a gold and silver bullion update because I haven't done it in a while, because the people really don't care on this station about it. But today I had a brief moment in this Rivian shutdown as the snowfall starts to fall again. 37 degrees. Maybe we'll get a little accumulation today, as it is colder today than it was yesterday overall in the upper atmosphere, which could help it accumulate if the snow comes down. But you can see what we got going on here is this could be this huge cup and handle, right? We had this huge blow off top back all the way here in 1979, and then we had the cup. And then we came all the way back up, and you can see that's the exact same thing we just looked at in the gold bullion chart, but it is just a much, much longer time frame, starting from about 1978 to, or this one went from about 1976 till about 2010, the next blow off top, right? And then there's your neckline right there. And then you can say this right here, you see this? Because a cup and handle, you have the big run up, and then the consolidation, which is the cup. And then this is the handle right here, right? So there's your cup and handle, and then your necklines up there. You see this consolidation we just had? This, just like gold, could have been the handle in silver. You see that? This is your handle. The handle consolidates like this, right? Let's get that out of there just to make it cleaner. You got that right there. And then just like it's a falling channel is what the handle forms. And then you can see now it's traded sideways out of it. It hasn't really broken out yet. Sort of has, because it had a big move here. You can see the big pump right there recently, and that could be the handle. And then when you break the handle, just like gold, as soon as you get back up on this targeted move from this mini consolidation that we're in right here after breaking out of this handle, your first targeted move is $50, right? But then if you break this long-standing cup and handle, because silver hasn't had a big pump like all the other metals have the past 5 years, a targeted move on silver, and that's probably not going to happen. But people do believe down the line you could have a $500 or $1,000 an ounce silver, or $150 or $200. I'm not going that big, but if this ever did break and blow off top, you could have a $600 price of silver. I'm not forecasting that. What I'm forecasting over the next 3 to 5 years is I think we come back up here and retest the major cup and handle upper resistance after we broke out of the handle up here at about 50 cents, which is the all-time high that was set back here in about 1980, and then set again about 2010, 2011, before the most recent bear market that we're trying to break out of. But that's where I think silver is going. I'm very, very bullish in silver. And as that, we have 500 shares of First Majestic Silver, and you can see we purchased our First Majestic Silver not exactly on the bottom, but we have it for roughly $3 and change for our 500 shares. And we think eventually we're going to be threatening all-time highs again in First Majestic Silver, but we thought this was a good time to buy it down here over the recent times. I didn't buy any here. I pretty much picked up all of my position here, started buying it, not up there. I started buying it at about $4.50, and then bought my final 300 shares at $3.50, 40 cents, whatever it was. But I do think eventually, in a long term, next 3 to 5 years, we do at least retest all-time highs, but more than likely break all-time highs. There's always a risk of you come down here and retest a low of $2.50, but that would just be, you have 500 shares, now you accumulate and you have 1,000 shares, and then you ride the pump, right? But I think First Majestic is going to be a phenomenal, they do pay a small dividend, a phenomenal company. We have 400 shares in Kinross Gold. I think it's going to be a very, very good company. You can see it's trying to stay above a major support and resistance level. Could you come down and have something like this briefly? That's always possible. Mining stocks are extremely rich. Sorry about that. Another one that's going to be phenomenal is Kinross, and we were going to look at the dividend. It does pay a dividend, 1.88%, and that's pretty good for a gold company. Not a lot of mining companies pay dividends, but this one is a fairly good dividend. And I do think Kinross has a very, very strong future. I do have 400 shares in this position that I've been adding for a few years. Every time it gets into this orange trading box, I tend to buy it, right? And then when it gets up into here, I tend not to buy it. Right? If it was ever down here again, I would obviously buy more. I do think there is a risk that you trade and could even break down, but I think the overall market is going to be positive, and I think over the next 3 to 5 years, we end up somewhere into this range, and we could even, and that's why we have this up here, we could even breach an all-time high or test an all-time high. Wow, that's $31. I have the $18 mark down here. Let's move this because it's lower. It's not up there. That's the $18 mark is right here, which is the mean of the last pump. That is what I am forecasting. And then an all-time high breach is possible in the next 3 to 5 years. But I do think this is a good company to own. I do own that. I have a couple hundred shares of Fortuna Silver. They do not pay a dividend, right? It's more of a crazy up and down stock. Metallo Royalty doesn't pay a dividend. We do have 400 shares of them. And that is it in the gold and silver market. The cryptocurrency market, real quick, we got the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is rising. The Bitcoin is pumping. The retracement to the upside is in because we've had a big decline, but the price of Bitcoin has pumped. And you can see we did hold that critical 61,175.02, and now we're trying to hold that 66,355.92 where we pumped off of just now. We're trying to hold that. If we can't hold that, there will be a big flush down to the 61,175, and then if it fails that, you come back down to the 44,182.70, and then an even bigger dump on an even bigger downturn would be 30,398.04, and that is something that we're watching. And real quick to wrap up, the XRP price, the swell XRP price, we're still here trying to fight, trying to stay above the bottom part of this blue trading zone, this blue trading box at 59 cents. And if we can get above that, we go to 68 cents. If we breach that, we go to 49, then 37. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love.